Young there. Bare bones. Pardon? Yeah, the Sandford, yeah. We'll look forward to it. Short bus trip.
Lost to get headed in the last quarter and then come back. Is that the greatest one of the better wins this year for you?
Yeah, I thought it was an emphatic response. Displayed a fair bit of football character, and our leaders stood up. Luke, David Mundy, Matty De Bordos, Chris Mayne. I thought there's some really strong physical challenges that both teams sort of met, and we took some opportunities. Early in the last, we dominated early 9 entries for 0-2. Then I take it the other end and score 2 for 2, so it put us under some pressure, but it was a strong, positive finish.
What was the message before the time? It looks like you executed and just changed things better to suit the conditions after the first quarter.
Yeah, look, as I sit here, probably the clearance. Was it quarter time? I'm trying to think. Yeah, quarter time, the clearances, were an issue. So the midfield and Mark Stone addressed that with Brett Kirk, and they turned things around to give our forward some opportunity.
Still the ball's being out back a bit, though. How do you get the goals out?
Pardon?
They seem to be getting the goals out back in the first one. How do you rectify that?
Look, we've got some basic principles that sometimes in these conditions it's a bit of that slingshot footy, isn't it? So the guys just adjusted their positioning a little bit. The pressure was good and allowed us to defend quite well.
Because you did a roster without a traditional sort of forward structure in terms of tools at least. Was that conditions that come that way today as well? Or?
Yeah, it was. And look, we were still too tall, So we rolled the dice and subbed Hanneth well out before half time. Put Sutcliffe, the extra runner. They only had Lynch and Jenkins up there. They ended up being pretty small. So Luke had Jenkins and then Tommy Lynch and it. So we just allowed Dawson to be the second ruck and play forward. So we were a little bit unbalanced. So it was a tough day. The athletes are exhausted. Or the AFL players are exhausted. Both teams, I'd imagine.
I was really surprised that they didn't lock down on shots. That they allowed you to rebound the ball so easily. Not so easily, but they allowed you to constantly rebound through and down.
Well, there's always a trade-off with +1 footy, So, look, I think both teams just back in the way they play, and they've been really successful against us. So, and they were in front in the game. I don't think it was dramatic, but.
Ross, did you think that shot from downfield hit the post? It was a really long stop.
I had no idea, to be honest. I'd planned that as a goal. I don't look at reviews and that much in there, so clearly they did a review. But it was a 7-point play. They kicked the goal straight after it, so it was actually a bonus, wasn't it?
How did you feel on that broad issue, Ross, about the cameras not giving a really conclusive view and speaking a very black and white answer at the end of it?
Well, I'm unaware that clearly you've asserted that they don't have conclusive views, so I'm not aware of that. I thought when it is conclusive, they make a judgment. So, if it's not conclusive, I think those in power can make judgments on that. I think it's trial and error, and look, everything's pioneering. We'd still be the odd VFL playing on suburban grounds if we didn't try things. So, we're all for innovation and trying to get better. We all like improvement, and I think that's where it sits.
But is it sort of farcical that the game with millions and millions of dollars involved in it, we still have to put cameras on the goal line to get a definitive view on it?
In all honesty, I haven't got a strong opinion on it. I'll leave it to the AFL Commission, executive and club CEOs. I'm busy enough trying to prepare an AFL team, to be honest.
It could be quite crucial how you do your job in the end.
Well, as I said, I've been on the end of it in the grand final, haven't I? So, look, I think the beauty of the game is human error. We will make mistakes, but over 100 minutes, I don't think it comes down to one moment. It's lots of moments stacked up. Who gets it right for longest?
Was he still learning more injury or whether
Look, it was a really tough decision. He trained fully, gave him a fitness test that he passed. He was close. He was in until left final decision to myself, and then woke up. He just, in the end, lacked some confidence. He's got an issue that we wanted to see whether he can manage. So now we've got a big decision: can he manage it, or does he need longer off? So. That was the reason, but we're pretty keen to reward Alex because of his role he's been playing. He's been really important. These conditions suit him, so we're pretty keen for him to play. But on balance, he didn't come up.
do you mean possible surgery or express?
No, potentially something invasive, but we're trying to work through that.
That's his ankle, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've
got the bye next week. Is it coming at a good time, or is it just doesn't really matter?
It's probably a question for Luke. He knows how he feels.
We're certainly looking forward to a break. It's been a solid 10 weeks. We've travelled all over the place, to the Gold Coast, to Sydney, to Tasmania. So we're looking forward to having a week of a bit of relaxation and to just get our heads out of football for a while, and then we'll switch back in the following Monday.
Was it strange for you guys playing on the road today, because you don't tend to play much?
Yeah, we don't play a lot in the rain. I think we only had one game last year against Richmond at the G in the wet. So we were fortunate enough to have a really wet day in Perth a couple of days ago when we were training for our main training session. So that, I think, just gave the guys a little bit of touch in the wet. But we certainly prepare, well every week, and whatever comes up against us, we'll tackle.
What was the best way to deal with Jacob's dominance?
I thought Zach Clark was okay. What's the best way? Just compete, really. Our mids just body work and compete. And if the ball falls in an area, it's pretty difficult for Jacobs to whack at long distances because of the conditions. So, look, we just focus on competing. Our players, we just ask them to try really hard. And clearly that's what they do. So I know our members and our fans and the players' family will be really proud with the way they give effort. And as a coach, that's how we measure ourselves.
Ross, just on the season overall, given all the injury you've had to deal with to reach your by 7.5 years out of 10, you go through.
Round 10 counts because you've got to keep winning, and the bottom line is we're 2.5 wins ahead of 12th, which is the Gold Coast, with over half the season to go. So we've got nothing to be pleased about, bar the fact that we're in a position where we can control our own destiny. But we're far from where we want to be. You've got to earn the right to play in finals. And until you earn that right, it's about home and away focus. So we've got a singular focus on our next review, training session, preparation, and then we'll worry about the games coming. So, but we are pleased with the win today. Good teams win in the state. We've won it 3 out of the 4 or whatever it is. So we want to keep priding ourselves at turning up.
Why do you think you've been able to cover your absences so well?
It's not something I thought of, to be honest. I worry about the ones that are available, I think. But if you want me to drill down quickly, I think it's about leadership. It's about everyone coming in, being prepared, exposing the whole list. We had 4 first and second year players out there today. Crozier, Hanneth, Sutcliffe. There's one other that escapes me. So, and they can't do it without magnificent senior players around them. So we've got a sprinkling of youth and experience that we like.
Have you been pleasantly surprised with the depth you've showed to go cover it, or have you expected?
Look, we're only as good as our next performance. So you go to a restaurant, don't you? You get one bad meal. So we'll focus on what's next. I don't like looking backwards, but we've got plenty of improvement in us.
And for the next game, you hope to get anyone back?
It's a good question. We're optimistic that a few might be end-stage rehab and out, which is Pavlich, Neil and Walters, off the top of my head. I'm probably remissing me 1 or 2 others. Jesse Crichton, So, and we had Tom Sheridan here today, and Matt Taberner, our young forward. So yeah, we've got a bit to come. Pressure's on for spots, but we want to reward people doing the job.
Luke, is this the best place you can remember your team being the time you've been there?
It's in terms of the culture around the club at the moment, it's certainly the strongest it's been. I'm really enjoying playing under Ross and the philosophies that he brings to the group. And it's just a really strong culture where we all play our role to the best of our ability and bring great effort. And it's a fairly simple model, but it's very effective. And I've really enjoyed playing in this environment. And hopefully, the success will continue.
Do you think last year's semi-finalists added any extra something?
Yeah, we're aware of that. We're aware that Adelaide have beaten us, I think, the last 3 times we've played them. And certainly the final was something that was in the back of our mind today, and we spoke about that a couple of days ago as well. So, yeah, we wanted to come over here and be very competitive and really put up a strong performance, and we're very pleased to come away with the win today.
Thanks, Scott. Yeah?
Sorry, can I start on just one time as acting captain? How have you enjoyed that? it's nice to welcome back Pav for the next game.
Yeah, well, I've really enjoyed being the captain in Pav's absence, and it would certainly be great to have him back. But I'm supported by some great leaders in David Mundy, Chris Main, Hayden Ballantyne. So they've certainly helped me in this role, and Ross has empowered me in this role as well. So I've really enjoyed it, and but we'll certainly welcome Pav back when he comes back in.
Also, just missed what you said on Vultures. Is he?
That's the second question. He's end stage rehab. He's got a couple of boxes to jump, so and a few weeks to go. So we've got the bye 2 weeks. We'll be able to update you. We'll have an afternoon soiree again on that Thursday, and I'll give you an update. Pardon? With respect, I've covered it. I'm not going there again. Thank you.